friends, welcome to my Saturday Coffee and Conspiracy episode. Today we're definitely going down kind of a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, but being a tin bow wearing lady myself, I really wanted to talk about this topic, and it's sometimes fun to view things from a different perspective. So we're definitely going to have some Reddit vibes in this episode. So I hope you enjoy. We're going to start today's episode by traveling back to the ancient days of the Druids. And I did not know who they were until I did this research. So if you didn't know who they were either, that's okay. And if you did know, kudos to you. So according to Wikipedia, a Druid was a member of a high-ranking priestly class in ancient Celtic cultures. Druids were religious leaders as well as legal authorities, medical professionals, and political advisors. When Druids were portrayed in early Irish saga and in the saints' lives that are set in pre-Christian Ireland, they are usually given high social status. Druids also play an important part in the pagan Celtic society. They were responsible for organizing worship and sacrifices and judicial procedures. Some historians write that Druids were philosophers and men who learned religious affairs, and they were also honored. Greek and Roman writers frequently made reference to the Druids as practitioners of human sacrifice. Caesar says that those who had been found guilty of theft or other criminal offenses were considered preferable to use for the sacrificial victims, but when criminals were in short supply, innocence would be acceptable. Okay. A form of sacrifice recorded by Caesar was the burning alive of victims in a large wooden effigy, now known as Wicker Man. A differing account came from a 10th century manuscript which stated that sacrifices to the deities were done by drowning, hanging, and also burning. In Irish language literature, the Druids were known as sorcerers with supernatural powers, and they were highly respected in society. Philosophers have also said in order for a sacrifice to be accepted by a Celtic god, the Druids had to be at the sacrifice ceremony. Wild. They were considered the intermediaries between the deities and the people. They were also highly respected for their ability to tell the future. The Dictionary of Irish Language defines Druids as magicians, wizards, or diviners. In the literature, Druids cast spell on people and turn people into animals or stones, and also curse people's crops to be ruined. We've all seen every Disney movie out there. What do you have to cast a spell or perform magic? A wand, right? It was very well known that Druids used wands when performing their magic or during ritual ceremonies. John G. Hughes, a fifth-generation Druid, wrote a book called Living Wands of the Druids that explores the history, lore, and creation of magic wands made from natural materials. Hughes also explains in his book how to harness the natural power of trees and shrubs for magical purposes. And what material do you think was suitable for the Druids to use in their magic wands? The holly tree was considered to be sacred. Holly is associated with strength, protection, and magic, and according to legend, it can banish spirits, protect against lightning and witchcraft, and it can shelter fairies and spirits in the forest. Let's just get this straight. Back in the ancient days, there was an elite, powerful group of people who could cast spells onto others, and they were also in control of evil religious human sacrifices and would use a wand made from Hollywood to cast spells on others. Interesting. Let me adjust my tinfoil bow real quick. I mean, could television really be rooted in something like that? Television. Could television be just that? Telling a vision? Is anything a coincidence anymore? I just have a hard time thinking that television or programming or your channel were just chosen at random. I think the real question is, if we're watching to be programmed or we're watching our programming through our television with a casting spell with a Hollywood wand, who's the programmer? Also, I don't have a stat to back this up, but I think it's very safe to say, has society gotten better since we're all been watching television? I think it's pretty safe to say no. Let's talk about the word entertainment. Entertainment can be defined as an activity that holds an attention of an audience or gives pleasure or delight. A blog called Lifecraft explains the difference between amusement and leisure, and I really like this definition, so I'm putting it in here. Amusement is an activity that diverts the minds by something pleasant as we play a game or watch a movie. Amusement, in a sense, enjoyable in itself, but it means justification and purpose to be a relaxation that regenerates us from work and more serious affairs. Leisure, on the other hand, it is not as much as resting from something as resting in something. Unlike work and amusement, leisure contains its primary purpose in what is being done. So was the intention of amusement through TV to have us relax our mind enough to get us into a trance of hypnosis to influence and program us? Now, don't get me started on subliminal messaging. You can do a little Google search on that. And we're definitely going to be talking about MK Ultra and Operation Mockingbird later on as well. But is it really possible to be hypnotized by the TV? I found an article on an online blog called Medium by Tiffany Taylor. I'll also link it below. And it says it's a topic, the science of screen influence. Scientific studies have shown that watching television can shift brainwave activity from an alert beta state to a more relaxed alpha state, and even into a delta state, which is akin to a hypnotic trance. The typical 60 Hz flicker of the television screen is said to contribute to this effect, creating a pattern that facilitates this shift in brainwave activity. In the alpha and delta states, the mind becomes less capable of critical thinking and more open to suggestion. This state of reduced analytical thinking makes viewers more susceptible to the message being presented without the usual consciousness filters that might reject or question such information. Furthermore, there was a patent filed in 2001 and published in 2003 called Nervous System Manipulation by Electromagnetic Fields from Monitors. And the link to the patent is below. You can see this. And stick with me here, okay? This is a lot of jargon that I don't say a lot. The patent says, psychological effects have been observed in human subject in response to the stimulation of the skin with weak electromagnetic fields that are pulsed with certain frequencies, such as to excite a sensory resonance. Many computer monitors and TV tubes, when displaying pulse images, emit electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes to cause such excitation. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system of a subject by pulsing images displayed on a nearby TV monitor or TV set. If you just do a quick Google search, which I did, are you in a trance when you watch TV? This is what it says. The hypnotic effect is largely caused by a screen flicker, which lowers your brain waves into an alpha state, a state of mind that you would normally associate with meditation or deep sleep relaxation. In most people, this occurs within 30 seconds or 3 minutes for very light, infrequent viewers. So I'm just going to take that as a yes, we can be hypnotized by the TV. That's like a lot. So what do you think, friends? Could the ancient evil religious elite still be casting spells and influencing our mind through the use of the Hollywood wand? I'll let you decide if you need the tinfoil bow or not. Until next time, friends, cheers!